Okay, so Blair Witch. Sorry about that. It's a 2016 film, starring a bunch of people, and was directed by Adam Wingard, who did Godzilla vs. Kong, which is not why I watched this movie and or reviewed it. No, I just decided to watch it because I was bored. And depending on what title I go with this, you may already know my opinion, so I decided to watch it. I heard that it wasn't very good. I watched it. I think it's great. I actually think it's great. Is it better than the first one? No, but it's close. Like, I think it's a damn good sequel. Exceed my expectations is... Like, the thing is, I don't understand a lot of the criticisms people have. Like, I don't understand. What even were the criticisms of this movie? Like, sometimes I can agree with the internet that... Or some people on the internet... or just people in general, seem to hate stuff, especially new films, but a lot of the times they do usually have good reasons. The Predator? No, that's just a fucking retarded piece of shit movie that's garbage and has terrible writing, and it's just boring and a slog and had really good ideas, a bunch of which were cut out, because the fucking studio likes to smell shit, even though, no, I'm pretty sure the studio meddled with the second Blair Witch film, this is the third one, saying like some stuff, like, I don't know, they had to make it more commercially viable and some shit, like, even though, I don't know, the first one wasn't really commercially viable, but it still made a fuck ton of money. But yeah, I think it's great. It is about this man whose sister is Heather, who, along with 3 other friends, Lisa, Peter, and Ashley, decide to go out into the Black Hills Forest, to kind of figure out, because they find this footage that they think is Heather, and he apparently thinks the main character, I think his name is James, still thinks she could be alive, which just makes sense, because it's been 20 years, well, nearly. Still, it's been over a decade. I don't think she's alive, or even if she is, I don't think she's going to remember you. Probably look radically different than last time she saw you. And I don't think she would survive that long. She'd probably rather die than survive in these endless woods. And there's 2 people that they meet called Darknet666 who actually uploaded the video of what they think is Lisa. Actually, no, not what they think. It turns out to be Lisa, but what they think is Heather. Yeah, that's like a little thing. It comes in later. So they meet up. The 6 of them go. I think the 2 characters that are part of Darknet666 are Lane and Talia. Lane says something, or Lane has something happen to him that's kind of interesting. But yeah, they decide to go, and creepy shit started happening. Like, time starts being weird. Sorry this is 3 minutes long, but yeah, time starts being weird. Weird shit happens, like the Blair Witch, like the tree symbol, which is awesome. I think it's pretty cool. And there's the moment where, like, it genuinely happens. I'll mention that. I'll just get into that. Because earlier, there were these Blair Witch tree things, but it turned out it was set up by Lane and Talia for this reason. That doesn't make sense. Like, oh, we wanted to make sure people knew something was happening? I have no idea. Even though previous creepy shit had happened, so they believed it. But yeah, when it actually happens, and there's a bunch of, like, big versions of it and smaller versions, they're like, oh, shit. And, like, the weird tree and, like, wood stuff that happens is really cool. There's just, like, a lot more explored in this film. Granted, maybe a bit too much, but a lot of it is pretty cool. And it does leave me with some questions. People are acting like this film leaves nothing up to the imagination. But I'm gonna go into that in a little bit. Because, yeah. So, what don't I like? I'll go over that. Yeah, that reason with the earlier Blair Witch sticks, or like Talia and Lane set them up. There's a few fake jump scares. They do get a bit annoying. I guess it does show a bit too much. Like, originally they showed the Blair Witch. They later credited it as Heather. I think. Why does she look so weird in this movie? I mean, okay, I know that it isn't, like, because we actually briefly see Heather. She looks really weird. She almost looks like she's a Hannibal mask. on her. But yeah, they don't actually show the witch, but it was originally said that it was the witch, but even if not. Also, this film was actually originally called The Woods, and had some interesting marketing. Even if they did, granted that is a bit too much. Maybe we didn't need to see it, because I like the stuff that they did with, like, fucking tents being thrown into the air and all that stuff. That stuff was terrifying as shit, and I was fine with that. So that, and it does feel like the plot twist with Lisa actually being the person instead of Heather, the whole time thing, I don't know. Like, okay, that was her footage, uploaded earlier in time. Doesn't really make sense to me. I know time works differently within the forest, but I didn't know, like, outside. So that really doesn't make sense, I guess, unless it's actually explained. That's it. That's actually it. That's, like, literally my only problems with this film. That's literally it. I have no other problems with this film. This film is terrifying. The Blair Witch Sticks thing, that's creepy. There aren't really any stupid decisions. There's a scene where, like, Ashley tries to get the drone, and it isn't super duper scary, but when the hand comes out, it's like, oh shit. And yeah, I mean, again, like I said, there's a few cheap jump scares, but there's some, like, kind of fake jump scares that aren't really, like, that bad, because they're not, like, so egregious or annoying. I'll talk about how they leave, I think, some stuff up to the imagination. It takes a while for, like, any death, I think, to definitively happen. I think it takes, like, 50-something minutes, and that's when shit starts getting wild. Like, previously, yeah, there's some tents flying up briefly, but, like, there's this part with, like, a stick with Talia's hair in it, and when Ashley just breaks it, I don't want to... Thing is, I'm going to spoil it, because the film's been out for a little bit, but I suggest you watch the film. Because, sorry about the background noise. I suggest you watch it because there are some pretty crazy moments that are like, oh shit, I feel like you should watch it. Sorry about that. But, hold on, I'll actually be right back. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, again, watch it because there's some crazy moments, but yeah. When Ashley breaks the stick, so does Talia. She, like, breaks in half, like, her back breaks, and it's like, what? That stuff's pretty crazy. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Again, all the stuff that they do with, like, the forest, you, like, see the monster kind of around, like, you don't actually see it until way later into the film, which I like. So even though they do show a bit too much, it's still way later into the film. There's things where, like, it's going about, and I think it's kind of, like, in the... There's this tunnel scene, but I'll talk about that later. There's parts where, like, when near Peter's death, or it's, like, scene where, like, he gets scared, I guess, by the thing. You don't actually see it, you just see, like, trees breaking, and I think it's just pretty cool. Like, the film just handles it well. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. It's very fun in a weird way, because, like, it's terrifying, but also fun. It's very fast-paced. There's nothing that's boring or drags in the slightest, and it is, like, near the same runtime as the original, so there's that. Like, it never drags. Yeah, it takes a bit for, like, the stuff to actually, like, start happening, like, creepy, but it's not, like, slow in the slightest. Like, you care about the characters. You know, they're doing interesting things. They're talking. And when it does happen, it's like, oh, okay, wow, this is, like, it's very fast-paced. It's much more enjoyable than Exists, which, someone I talked to said it was also a pretty fun movie. This is much more fun. This is, like, fast-paced, enjoyable, terrifying, has likable characters. Yes, they get at each other's nerves sometimes, but that's it. Yes, they do the classic, oh, turn off the camera, but it does happen a bit, but that's only for a short amount of time. It's just very intense. You care about the characters. What else do I have to say? Yeah, there's the tunnel scene where, like, Lisa's crawling through the tunnel, and you do feel bad because it's quite claustrophobic. She's kind of, like, briefly stuck, so it's like, that sucks. And then she eventually overpowers that urge to just give up and basically accept pretty slow and painful death. And yeah, excuse me. And that was pretty cool. And then I guess the witch, or the Heather, I guess, turns out to be, like, a victim. Like, Heather, just all stretched out and, like, creepy as shit. It starts coming up, and that's pretty intense. That was pretty cool. And I guess we'll talk about, okay, I guess I'll just finish up with saying, like, yeah, there's some cool, like, tree stuff, just, like, the branches breaking, like, the noises people make. Like, I feel bad for Peter, because, like, his screams felt genuine. It's very entertaining. There's not much shaky cam. And, yeah, the stuff that they do with, like, nature, at least with the woods, it's very cool. It's just got, like, this kind of, like, big feel to it. Almost, like, big budget in a way. Like, it's just a lot of stuff happening. It's like, whoa. But it's not, like, overblown or anything. And there's even some smaller moments that aren't necessarily huge, and I do like that. But it does start to become, like, much more fast and, like, ratchet up the tension, like, more bigger stuff happening, I guess. And it's just very cool. It's creepy. It feels unforgiving. This thing is, like, terrifying, will punish you. You know? Although, if it turns out to... Although, I guess since the creature is Heather, I'm just kind of curious. I don't know. They could have done something with, like, James trying to talk to her. I don't know. That would have been kind of interesting. Although I do like how abrupt this film ends. It does feel like just a real event, kind of. You know, obviously more exaggerated than really most events, but still. Oh yeah, 17 years earlier. Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, I guess that does make sense, year-wise. But yeah, there's a moment... So I previously talked about how stuff is actually left up to the imagination. So there's a part where Lane and Talia leave and they show up days later. I think actually no, not that. Like hours later, but for them it's been days later, so there's a whole time thing. It's kind of interesting that works with individual people as well. There's also a thing where you see Lane, I keep saying Lane sometimes, where he shows up in kind of an annoying jump scare right next to Lisa once they get to like the old house from the beginning, from the first movie. He's like all ragged and stuff, and I think it reminded me of the Blair Witch game, or I guess Blair Witch game would probably remind me of that. But there was like, wasn't there like some old dude with like ragged hair and like sticks and stuff? So that was kind of interesting. Like, you don't actually know what happens to him in that time. He later dies by Lisa, like kind of like stabbing him because like he was going after her. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. Like, left up to your imagination. It's not said like what actually happened to him. And I guess the whole voodoo thing, like, it's not over-explained. There's nothing really over-explained about the Blair Witch. Not really. It's kind of, like, shown, I guess. Maybe a little bit told, but still, that's it. And I think there's a part with, like, Peter where I'm not actually sure if he dies, because there's a part where, like, I guess he gets grabbed by the creature, but then later he's like, help me. And then you see him briefly, like, standing in the corner, but that's it. So I guess they kind of leave that to the imagination, like, what actually happened to him. So that was kind of cool. I guess that's all I have to say about the movie. It's not like I barely talked. This is a 12-minute video so far, nearly 13 minutes. So yeah, I think the movie's great. I'm going to give it, not sure if this grade is definitive, but I think I give it an A-. Like, I think it's depraved, but not in like a sadistic way. Like, a depraved in a sad way, where things are just failing and you don't want them to. It's sad, it's intense. It's a lot like the first one. It's, I mean, maybe not super subtle, but it's not, like, overblown as shit a lot, and it's not, like, obnoxious, and just, like, people screaming, shaky cam all the time. I've got to finish the final project. That's such a boring fucking Final Fish movie. Nothing happens for an hour. It's just people talking and shit. It's uninteresting as fuck. Maybe I'll have to rewatch it. But yeah, it's a very good, worthy successor to Blair Witch, I think. I'll watch Blair Witch Book of Shadows sometimes, but that wasn't a necessary viewing for this movie. I think it's a great movie. Is it amazing? No. It's got some problems that'll hold it back, but I think this is a pretty great movie. I don't know, pretty great. I give it an A-, like I said, so I guess pretty great. Amazing. I mean, no, not amazing. But I think you should watch it. It's on Hulu. Also, apparently, Sling TV, Philo. It's on YouTube, obviously, from money. Amazon Prime Video, apparently, for free. Yeah, you should watch it if you got Hulu or Sling TV or... Oh, no, those are, like, premium subscriptions. So ones with, like, regular subscriptions, Hulu or Amazon Prime Video, I guess it's free. You should watch it. It's not a bad movie. People might think otherwise, but I don't know, because a lot of the criticism I've seen doesn't really make too much sense, I guess. I might have to watch some more reviews, but I think it's a great movie. Pretty great, I don't know. It's creepy, intense, I like the characters. Leave some stuff to the imagination. It's scary. I think it's a worthy successor. Even if it was a cash grab, it's at least one that put some effort to it. So if you're gonna like milk a series, at least have some people that are actually interested in telling another story. But yeah, that's my review. Tell me what you thought in the comments below. If you like these type of videos, well, I make movies, movie reviews, different type of movie reviews like this, where you like actually see clips of the movies instead of just me talking. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. You can subscribe if you want. Watch a few more videos like my unknown film reviews. Those are a playlist. They're gonna get better. The reviews are gonna get better like edited and stuff. But watch those if you like those. You can subscribe. It's free. You can undo it whenever you want. It shows your support and that you want this type of stuff. So I'll continue. That's the best way to support. I usually don't subscribe to like so many people because I'm very subscribed to like 500 people. I need to like sort that out because it's kind of annoying when I want to like screen record. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.